Little Dave, Little Dave, Little Dave. What do we have here? So, Mr. Cooperator number 2, before he put his page on private, I've been a little busy. I got a lot going on. It's December. I got some content that I was supposed to drop. I'm a little late. Before he put his page on private, he responded about a snitching allegation on his story. And he also mentioned something else about EDogg. Sometimes no response is the best response, because when you open your mouth, all you're doing is setting your own self up. And this is the reason why they always tell you what you would say can be used against you in a court of law. Now, so he goes on his story and he mentions EDogg and Oblock members. He also mentions something about the bloggers keeping his out their mouth because he ain't telling on nobody he was in jail when Duck was murdered or whatnot. But you know how we know? You mention something that tells us that you can't deny you was the one on the stand, buddy. The person that was on the stand, Cooperator number 2, had mentioned that EDogg was the one that punched him in the mouth over fighting one of his family members in jail or whatnot. You guys remember that? Tell me why on his story he mentions that EDogg is mad at him, has him blocked for 2 years because he's messing with his baby moms. Along with the fact that he mentions that EDogg's new girl been around the whole project and all his buddies are hit her off. And this is not me saying it. Let's make sure we make that clear. I'm just sharing what he posted, right? So again, it shows that this beef and him being mad, it might have been all over a bitch. And maybe not even over him fighting a cousin in jail, right? It's always over money or a bitch. Those are the number 1 and 2 things that always go down in the hood. Why dudes is always beefing. It's over a bitch or money. And usually number 1 is a bitch. Anyone else tells you otherwise, that's cap. Now him lying on the stand and getting Oblock and mistrial or whatnot, that's really small compared to what they got against these guys. That ain't going to affect the trial. That ain't going to give them Oblock 5 and mistrial. To be honest, if you ask me, that ain't affecting anything. If anything, the prosecutor is going to use that to show the jurors how afraid and how dangerous these Oblock guys are, because look how scared this kid is. A kid that was down with the Oblock, a kid that was running with them, it was in their gang. He was so afraid to the point that he couldn't even look at them in the eye in the courtroom when he was pointing them out. He's so afraid for his life and his family's life that he's putting himself at risk to lying on the stand because he's not sure if he's doing the right thing. Look how scared this kid is. That's what the prosecutor is going to say. So if anything, the prosecutor is going to use this to his advantage to show how dangerous and how one of these cooperators can get touched by an Oblock member. Remember, the DA and them already set the grounds before this kid took the stand. They reminded everybody that any cooperator's life were in danger. And the person that was going to take the stand was really afraid for retaliation against him and his family. So this is really nothing big, and this is not going to cause no mistrial. Like I said, a good prosecutor, a good DA is going to take this and run with it. Use it for his behalf. You got to put yourself in their shoes and pretty much think about how a DA would react or would talk, right? Not saying I'm a DA or whatnot, but I've been in front of enough courts to know how a DA is going to counterattack a lawyer's response. I studied my own cases in court when I was facing a whole lot of time, to the point where I would help my own lawyer with information and certain things on my own case that my own lawyer didn't understand or even didn't notice. Not that he didn't understand, but things that he didn't notice, maybe because he didn't have the time to look at it. And I did, because I was locked up in a jail cell and I'm the one reading my own paperwork and dealing with the facts and looking at things and going over things and thinking about things, and things will come in my head while I'm laying in bed, and I'll be like, let me take note of that. And when I go to the court, I'll bring things up to my lawyer to the point where he'll be like, okay, let me go find that docket number. If they don't have a docket number for that evidence and it's not on the paperwork, then they should have never got a search warrant to go in your car or your house. Therefore, we can get your charges dropped. That's an illegal search. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit you got to be on when you're in the streets, man. You got to be street smart enough to know how to move, and you got to be street smart enough to know how to read and understand and go through things and know the law. This is part of this. This is part of being a gangster, is knowing how to have your bail money, with who to trust with. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to make a bail, who to go get the cash, what names to use, what names not to use. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got dudes in the streets right now that I rock with that never had a social media in their whole life because they don't want their picture and their name to be easily access to. That's deep. I got niggas right now that never had a social media in their lives, bro. And I still can't grasp that through my, I still can't get it. But I understand it. So make sure y'all like, comment. Like I said, I've been a little busy. I got a whole lot of shit going on. But I'm going to make sure I keep up with some of the content and some of the stuff that's going on. Boss, you two, let's get it. We're still doing 100 likes. 100 likes within 1,000 views. Free t-shirts. You can win a free t-shirt. Drop a comment. Yeah, I know what it is, man. We haven't had 100 likes within 1,000 views yet. Come on, man. Let's get the 100 likes within 1,000 views so we can get somebody a free tee with your favorite artist or whatever you want up there. Done by me, officially. Let's get it.